everyone, this is Keith Scott from Apple City, Australia. I'm one of the voices that will let you loose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kelly and Andy McPhee.
Yeah. What happened that caused the film to get saved? Was it almost falling apart, or what exactly happened?
Oh, it was just the edit, basically. So, I mean, the thing is, I'm big promoter of opportunity, particularly for minority groups and people who don't really have a go. So, it was a big risk on my part, because I basically had a first time, it wasn't her first feature film, but it was her first major multi-million dollar feature film, right? So it's a big step up from going micro budget, indie to a lot. But I wanted to give an Asian female a voice and a chance, a go. And I think sometimes it is challenging because due to the lack of experience, sometimes people, you just reach your capacity. It is what it is, right? Like you work really hard, you try, but you get to this point and unfortunately, the financiers, the sales agents, distributors, when they watched the rough cut and the director's cut, they were they were like, oh, it's not quite there, right? It needs more work. And unfortunately, the director, couldn't go, again, just reach that capacity, which is that's what it is, right? It does happen. And so I had to obviously pull in, get Pauline to come in and basically start like just re-edit the whole thing, really. And basically align it to the story that we wanted to tell. That's another, important thing as well. And then just yeah, and we had to do a pickup shoot to fill in gaps and things like that, which we know is very common. Um, yeah, and go from there. But I think her Pauline's grace, and she's an actor's director, so she works with actors, in terms of trying to get out of them best performance for that scene, and really work with them. And it was quite refreshing. So I guess, a big learning thing for me was picking the right people, to be part of the project in a sense that whilst yes, I always want to give opportunity to those who don't have opportunity, but at the same time, they have to be the right people. They have to have the right attitude. They have to be the right collaborators. I don't care now necessarily, the box that they're ticking, if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
want the right person. If they happen obviously to be an Asian female or whatever, whoever it is, I want to give opportunity to, then bonus, you know. Yeah, yeah,
That's really amazing. And you mentioned that you found Eduardo via literally just looking him up on Instagram, and you were
Instagram.
like,
Yeah.
and so you then offered him a movie role. And didn't he think you were joking at first?
Yeah, Eduardo thought it was a scam big time. He was like, because I emailed through, it was through the Blind Sports Federation that introduced me to all these judo coaches around the world. And I was emailing his father, who happened to be his coach at the time. And, they were busy preparing for Tokyo, Paralympic Games. So I didn't quite hear back. And I went, okay, I'm just going to go straight to the source. So I messaged on Instagram. And when you get those messages sometimes on Instagram, you're like, who the hell is this? So he didn't reply back for a little while, thinking it was a scam. I messaged again, pretty insistent, and he goes, okay, let's reply back and have a chat online to see if I'm real. Um, and yeah, and then he realized it was genuine, and I got the whole script translated into Spanish for him, so that he could read everything. I wanted to give him so many opportunities for him to say no. I actually hired a really good, experienced Spanish speaking acting coach from the US to actually work with him on a scene because importantly, our EPs and distributors wanted to see if he could act as well, right? Significant role, can he do it? So, so I got someone to work with him, and he wasn't even off book. He hadn't memorized his lines, right? Because he's so green. He had no idea what to do. But the fact that he did it, he recorded something, and within that time frame, and they were right. Like he was a natural. He's a star. He was a star. You could tell on screen. And he just needed to be just trained up. So 2 years. It was 2 years from when I first reached out to him to when we actually were on set together of, him going to acting classes and training both in Mexico and London. Me getting online with him, going through scenes, reading through scenes. He gave us feedback on the script as well, and everything. And just he's been truly amazing. I'm really grateful.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.